All right. So do you know that you need to give your mind and body adequate sleep? What are you doing about active rest? While this term may sound like an oxymoron, it's actually a real requirement for your mental and physical health and well-being. This was a major weakness for me. It was something that I totally ignored. I remember this joke: sleep is for pregnant ladies and babies. I need to work. I need to build what I have to build. I need to accomplish my goals. I don't have time to be lazy and sleep more than I need to. So I would find myself in my 20s and early years of work, sleeping 4 hours, 5 hours, and just pushing my body to this ultimate place that it didn't affect me until I got much older, in my 40s. So I want to really go in on this topic, active rest. You see, most of the times when we go through pains and go through things, it puts us on a path that we look for solutions and we help others find solutions. So active rest is really understanding how to work and to rest. To work and to rest. If you ever heard about it, or actually if you never heard about active rest, it's probably in the context of physical exercise. For example, you rest your legs while you're working your arms, or you take up swimming for a month if you're recovering from an injury caused by running or something like that. But that's not what I'm talking about. Even though that's a part of active rest, I'm really speaking about applying it to other areas of our lives. I'm referring to when you engage in less intense activity or a different kind of activity. It can be anything that you do while you're awake to renew and to rejuvenate. So we understand that we're resting when we're sleeping, but I'm talking about when you're awake, the things that you can do that could put your mind and body at ease and cause your functionality to be more optimal. All right? So if you feel tired much of the time with no physical cause, or you just want more joy out of your life, let's take a look at how you spend your days and try these suggestions for active rest. All right? So active rest, I would say that's something that you have to schedule, something that you have to be mindful about, and something that you have to start incorporating bit by bit. All right? Remember, every winner was once a beginner. When you start a new journey, it feels overwhelming. If you change your diet, I remember when I started eating vegetables, there was a joke someone actually made with me, and I actually did it. They said, I saw this guy transitioning from eating a lot of unhealthy foods and transitioning into healthy, and he would look at videos of pizza and chocolate cake while he's eating his carrots and his salads. And that's how I really started, because I hated it, and now I enjoy eating vegetables, and fruits and stuff more, because my brain has changed, my gut has changed, my appetite has changed, and there's some foods I just no longer eat, right? So we're talking about, let's get back to the topic that was sidelined, on active rest. Let's say for the mid-afternoon, how can you prepare for that mid-afternoon? There are a lot of people now, by lunch, when you finish having lunch, mid-afternoon time, you're feeling like you're crashed, you're finished. You don't have the energy to go the rest of the day, and this slump can hit you at any time. But mid-afternoon is really common because you've worked, you're up early and you're going steadily, and then your body kind of like tells you, I want to rest. So what you can do is block out time for a break time between like 2 and 4 p.m. if that's possible. If it's not possible, on your lunch hour, you want to kind of like get a few minutes of just quietness. You want to just rest wherever you can get that, right? Most of us concentrate on only about 90 minutes or 2 hours at a time, but you may even want to take a breather to avoid getting fatigued. So as I was saying, let's say on your lunch break, you walk across the park if you can. If you can't do that and you're actually in the lunchroom, and you just take some deep breaths, drink some water, you find that way to just rest your mind. Maybe you read a few scriptures or a chapter, maybe just a couple verses, 1 page of something that you enjoy, and you just relax. You're not thinking about going back to work. You're not thinking about how hard the morning was. This is what I'm talking about, active rest. So you want to increase the frequency of even things like a vacation, because a lot of times people work and work and work, and you have a 2-week or a 3 week, some people even a month vacation. But what about if you spread out that vacation? Let's say you have 2 weeks vacation for the year. What about you take one week in the first 6 months of the year, and then another week later on, and you plan for those days when you have a holiday or a long weekend, how you're going to incorporate some rest into that. You take 1 day rest, or even if you're working, how you're going to put a couple hours in, what you could do to incorporate that rest into your life. All right. So when you're going home, another one I want to say, this one was a major one for me. Workaholic. That was in the past, right? But I'm working on it. I'm work in progress. Leaving your work behind. Oh my goodness. I was a manager for many years, and I would take my work home. I would be on call on my day off. They can call me whenever there was a problem. I would be on the phone solving it. That's a definite no-no. I want to say something to us. None of us is indispensable. You may love your job. You may care about your job. But listen, something happens, God forbid, they're going to replace you. They're going to find somebody else. So you want to resist taking that work home with you on weekends and evenings and day off. That's a no-no. You want to take that, make that unscheduled free time a priority. Have some time in your life where you don't schedule anything, and it's just some time for you, to do what you have to do. For me, I find that I love work. I just want to be honest. So it's actually active rest for me. If I'm like writing something or working on something that I like and listening to good music, I'm just happy there. So you have to understand yourself and make that unscheduled free time a priority. Because I would take those moments as well, where you're just quiet, and that kind of thing. You're reading, listening to some music, but actually you want to provide that rest for your mind. All right. So another thing you can do to incorporate active rest in your daily lifestyle is to stimulate your mind. Develop that daily practice, as I was saying just now. Listening to that music. Don't just make it something where I listen to music because I feel stressed. But if you like music, get that headphones on, or that place where you could put on that little music, whether it is you're driving to work. You want to have that moment where you're listening to that music. You may be singing along, driving down the highway, but just those moments. For some people, gardening. Take that active rest and say, you know what? I'm going to do gardening for 2 hours on this particular day. And you schedule that in because you really like it. Your mind is engaged, everything. You love what you're doing. And that active rest is like you're sending those dopamine, you're sending those right chemicals through your body when you're doing something that you love. Another one that I totally love is practicing your faith, right? You want to connect with God, of course, when you get up in the morning. But I would say pray without ceasing. Every opportunity you get, just be praying under your breath. Pray for others. That really helps your mind. It really helps you when you know that you are standing in the gap. I love this saying my bishop always would say, what you do for others, God will do for you. So you want to practice your faith. You want to read inspirational literature, books. Some people say I only read the Bible. That's a personal choice. But there are so many Christians and so many knowledgeable people that have written great books that can help us, like time management books. Maybe it's a book on the overthinker. Whatever it is that you struggle with, you want to spend time to read uplifting literature that can help to change your brain, the rewiring of your brain. That is active rest as well. You want to pray at home or find a spiritual community. I would say, and find a spiritual community where you feel like you belong. So whether you're in an online community and you do devotion on your home, you have 2 friends that you call, and if you can go out to church, that's good, that's great. Amen. Some people may not find a local physical church. Now the world has changed. They attend services virtually, but still have that local community, 2 sisters that you can pray with, family devotion. Have that community where your faith is concerned. All right. Another great thing I find too, I am involved in voluntary work. We have like a local pantry at our church. Find a way that you can volunteer in your community. You may be very knowledgeable. You can help children with reading. Find something that can also help you as well. All right. Another thing you want to do is socialize more. You want to reach out to your family and your friends, see how they are doing, watch a movie together with your family. Instead of just streaming alone on devices, just scrolling. You want to engage with others. It is not healthy for us to live, in this kind of isolation zone. One of the things I love about the Japanese community, and they have the most centurions in the earth. You know what they are big on? They're big on community. They eat meals together. They watch shows together. They cook together. Like the elder women, they have these communities where they meet and cook and eat and all of that. You want to really socialize, live a life, engage, where you let people in, and you're not just in that place of isolation. So family dinners, whether it's sport, event, whatever it is, you want to find that way to socialize more. All right, and socialize doesn't mean you have to go out for dinner every Friday night. Mind you, I would love that, but I'm on a journey, making sure I know what's in my food. So you save that for really, times when it's really, really celebratory time. All right, so providing active rest for your body. You can close your eyes, give yourself some time. I like to do this like visual stimulation. You close your eyes, you think about that vision, you think about that goal that you have, and you just shut your eyes for that moment and just drift away, thinking about, okay, I have this plan, I have this goal, I'm going to do this by this time, but you're not doing it from a place of just being anxious. You're just visualizing what that one goal is. So let's say we have, for instance, I want to share one with you. This one excites me. I was 200 and something pounds. I've lost 47 pounds over the past year. And I would sit and, really visualize a healthier version of myself. I was having a lot of back pains, a lot of body pains, joint pains, all the list goes on and on, right? And so I decided I wanted to start making health changes. And I would sit and visualize a plate with my fruits, my vegetables, a healthy packed meal. I would visualize myself cutting up carrots, having, instead of sweets, that was my downfall. I would have fruits instead of snacks. So I started just visualizing those things. And guess what? It brings calm to the mind. And as I continued on that journey over a year, I didn't do anything drastic. Exercise once or twice a week. Sometimes for weeks I didn't exercise. It's not because I'm a gym fanatic or a walking fanatic. None of those. It's just healthy daily lifestyle habits. Sometimes we fall on, sometimes we fall off, but it's consistency. That's the key. Getting back up and taking it back. Making up where you slack off. Another thing is breath exercises. You can really breathe deeply to help to reduce stress and enhance your circulation. So there's this, I want to do this with you. There's this type of breathing called box breathing. You can inhale like this. So you inhale through your nostrils, you count to 4, you hold at it, and then you exhale. And you count to 4 while you're exhaling. So at times when you feel stressed, you can actually do that, and it's going to help oxygen to circulate throughout your brain, throughout your organs. And it's really going to help your diaphragm, and it's going to help you relieve that stress overall. After a long day, during a stressful day, it doesn't take anything to take some deep breaths, while you're at work. All right, you want to go outside. That's another one I totally love this one. You want to go outside, take a walk in nature. That's energizing. Sometimes you just don't even bother to drive. You walk up to a point and then jump in the car. We have to find a strategy. We can always say, I'm too busy, but we have to create that strategy. That's why you want to sit down and visualize the things that you need to do to transform your health. All right, you want to move around as well. Stay active. If you can do regular workouts, I always say to people, the solution is not a gym. If you have a gym, that's fine. But if you don't, just walking. As I said before, park the car, walk that extra mile. Just start walking, just taking the stairs instead of the elevator, standing up, stretching when you're at work, for a few moments. Nobody's going to kill you for just standing up and stretching and touching your feet and then sitting back down at that desk. So you want to really, another one, it's funny, but some people actually perform stretches during commercials when they're watching the evening news or watching television. And I think, most times you're not going to think about that, but there are people who do it, right? So while the commercial is going on, you just stretch a bit. It helps your back, it helps your body. So we have to get in that state of being mindful every day to make that time to slow down and silence the outside world. Now listen, there's always going to be, Jesus said it, the poor is going to be with you always. And I love serving, helping others, empowering others. But there are times when you just have to take that moment to work on you. Turn off that cell phone for 2 hours, for an hour a day. Do whatever is necessary so that your mind could be at rest. Sometimes we're racing thoughts. I want to share another one. This was something that I struggled with too. You're going to bed and you're thinking about all the things you have to do the next day. You turn to go to the bathroom and you're thinking about all the things that you have to do, and you can't fall back to sleep. One of the good things I found is I get a Post-it, I put it on my way to the bathroom, and I write notes on my Post-it, the things that are important to do. And so because I'm always active, my rest time when I'm sleeping, that's where I start thinking. So now I've eliminated that by saying, okay, it's on a paper, I'm not going to forget it, so I don't have to keep going over it in my mind, remembering that I need to do this. All right, so writing down. Another good thing you can do is journal before you go to sleep, how your day was, how you could have done better. in terms of your water, in terms of this, take that 10 minutes for you. You're worth it. I always say to people, self-care is not selfish. All right, so remember, active rest makes you more productive. With even a good quality of sleep and rest, you are likely to live a happier, longer life if you incorporate active rest into your lifestyle. All right, God gave you a self-healing body, and if you do your part, you're going to live to fulfill your purpose. God bless you. Remember, we're coming the shift this Saturday, and it's going to be at 5 p.m. We're going to be virtual this year. So wherever you're coming in from, we have speakers coming in from the UK, Jamaica, the Caribbean, the US. And it's not just where they're coming in from, but they're giving in value. We're dealing with the topic, God cares about your well-being. He cares about your worship. He cares about your work. He cares about every facet of your life. So we think that we serve God only when we go to church and we do these religious activities, but God cares about your thoughts. He cares about your organs. He cares about every single thing. So we're going to come in. We're going to talk about health, finances, faith, relationship. Come in, join us, click the link below and register.